Don't tell anyone, we're still on the mountain. Hello, day 4, and yes, we're still on the mountain. We're going to stay a little bit longer. I'm going to see if we can get some nice shots with some colored lights. That's right?
It is right.
Yeah.
So we're trying to do some flash photography. We have got like a spotlight that's got some blue lenses, green lenses, red lenses, and orange lenses, which we've never done before.
Well, it did have an orange.
Well, we broke most of it, but that'll be all right.
We've got enough just to give it a hint of colour. Because one of the things we found, and we were just speaking to Pierre, who's one of the most famous photographers from the mountain, is lighting up the sculptures really does bring them to light, especially at night. So that's what we're going to be aiming for, is to try and get that nice colouring into it to see how this sculpture kind of pops. But probably more importantly, what have we done on the sculpture? Shall we take everybody around?
Yeah, do you want me to go forward?
I think that sounds like a jolly good idea. Let me fiddle around with the camera then while you're doing that. That way looks really good to me. Yeah. So Justin's hiking out at the moment because he's really pushing the wind.
All the stories. I'm going to do that tomorrow. Again, you know, we've made an interactive sculpture.
Yeah. But as you can see, all the big shapes are now in. We've got no more big work to do. I think tomorrow is all detail. It's all going to be about that. But the question is, did we actually manage to get that view that we're looking for? So if I just walk back this way, what we're going to do is going to see if we can show everybody that view of the boat on the horizon line. And that's what we're looking for. You can see the boat there sailing in the waves of the mountain. How amazing is that? So no, only what, 4 days ago, this was just one big giant pile of snow. It was over 5 meters high, because the top of the mast is slightly below the top of where the pile was. It was twice the size in diameter as it is now, and yeah, I think we've created quite a nice look. Now, one of the questions we've been asked a couple of times is, how are we going to make the whole of this sculpture stand up all by itself?
Voila.
We're gonna reveal.
Visualizing what you can. Hopefully, we'll get an undercut underneath the sails from at least some left and right angle. You get a sailing boat without the support that's underneath it. I mean, the support's quite cool in itself. Somebody's asked us if we've made Concord. So, yeah, before we got the boat fit in, could have made Concord, but there we go.
That was a lovely lady from Wales who were talking to us, so we have a bit of a Welsh connection there, especially with yourself.
Yeah, well, I went to Carmarthenshire College. I stayed at a place called Stafford Garage. I forgot what the name of it is. And Kneckley was just along from Stafford Garage and Upland Town, the area. And this lady said, "Oh my God, you went to Stafford Garage?" Like, yeah, I did, and yeah, good. We need to do a few shout outs, I think.
Yeah, I think that was a big thank you. So let me just turn the camera around, and what we'll do is we can do those both together. Yeah, definitely get that background in it. We're going. Oh, they're lovely. Okay, he says, how many buttons do you have to press to change the camera around? Maybe that's one of the questions I might have to send as suggestions into StreamYard. Okay, so shout outs time.
I've got a boat in view there.
We have got the boat in view.
Fantastic. So I guess we have a big shout out to James Scott, because we know you're watching. And so that's my son, by the way. Got a shout out to anybody?
Yeah, I've got a shout out to most of my family, my wife, Sarah, Hannah, and my two boys, Dominic and Callum. I'm sure you guys have been watching it and enjoying it. And a big thank you to Dominic, actually, because he's been in the background doing all sorts of wizardry with YouTube and various little bits and pieces for us. So a big thank you to him.
Yeah, my new girlfriend Lynn and her family have been sort of giving us lots of support, lots of keep going.
Yeah, and it's just an amazing amount of support we've had from people. It's just been fantastic. We're loving the comments. We're loving answering all the questions you guys have got. So just keep them coming.
Yeah, so all you guys on YouTube, crikey, there's too many of you to mention, but I know you've all been commenting on my Facebook page as well as the YouTube stuff, and it's been lovely to hear and the reception that's, we've been out on TV. I think it must have been 4 times now, mate.
Oh, it's been plenty. So again, big thank you to all the first of all the ladies that have been helping my PR side of things, Doc's PR. So big thank you to Luana and the team. Last year we did it all ourselves, and I think we must have spent 120 hours easily sorting out everything with the newspaper and TV, etc. And all that's been taken away. They've done all of the hard work for us, and it's been a real pleasure, and it's been a real big support from everybody in the media as well. So thank you there.
Yeah, and as always, we've got no idea where we're going to come in this competition. It's a very simple sculpture. It's there to grace the slope. There are no, we usually put lots of details on things. There's a chapel with looks like a Sistine gallery going on in it. So he's one of the main winners, and he's still here now. So if we can spin round, Martin, just ourselves.
If I just quickly stick the camera on, because that will be better than this one anyway. The better view.
If we go up, are we able to zoom in at all?
No, we can't zoom.
So what you can't quite see is Evo is just there where my finger is. We can actually see the lights, and there's a snowplow going just over. Oh, you can just see the lights there. So when I put my finger there, you can actually see the lights. And it's mint watching the piece bashers going out. The piece is completely empty. There's several of them grooming the beasts, so they're ready for the skiers in the morning. They'll be nicely bashed and lovely and smooth. And then, people can have a comfortable ski.
Yeah, I'm going to give everybody a bit of a view. So over here, this is kind of like they call it the kindergarten area where the kids play. And we've got two sculptors over there that come over from Canada. That's Chris and Nikki. They're doing an amazing sculpture. Looking forward to going to see that a lot closer tomorrow. They've got some interesting techniques as well we've been talking about, so we're going to learn some new things. So just behind Idalp, which is here, this is the restaurant. We've got Anna and Ben, who have come from France and the US, and they're a couple team, and they're doing amazingly well as well. It's been interesting hearing about the challenges people have, and this has been the first time here on the mountain. We've got a team that's just down here, just below the helipad, and then we've got just with this little group of 5, right at the end, you can see Ralph and Peter, which is about here-ish. Then we've got the next sculpture up, which is of the DeLorean from Back to the Future. It's looking absolutely fabulous. And those are the winners from last year, wasn't it? Vladimir and
they got second.
Yeah, so they're from Italy, from the Dolomites.
So father and son team.
Yeah, father and son team. First time this lad's been out to do this. He's 18 years old, and he's done amazingly well. The next sculpture we've got up, which looks like a bear, which is Thomas and Lawrence. Again, from, I'm going to say South Tyrol. They get very touchy when I say Italy, so South Tyrol. And then up on this side, around from us here, almost like our sculpting buddies for the week, we've got this team here, which is George and Jan from the Czech Republic. So as you can see, we're pretty much in the center of the action as we're going sculpting, which is great. Before, they have had people that have been spotted all over the mountain, right at the top, on the real top, which is the Pardish Grant. In fact, if I turn round, bend it down that way, it is up there. So that is the 2,600 meters into it, well, roughly about that.
Highest,
and that really was problematic. So if you got any kind of bad weather, they got it first. We had one year, I think it was the year we did Ringmaster, and literally they only had about 1 day out of the 4.5 days that they could actually get up there to also do the sculpture. So we did have a word with the organisers, and that's why all of them have now been done actually in the Silveretta Basin, which is absolutely fabulous. So I think that's right. We were going to do a couple of other things we were talking about earlier today. One was about communication, because it's really important that we communicate all the time. And one thing I do is I make sure if I'm unsure, I will ask Justin, and we usually keep having a lot of banter as well. So that always helps.
Yeah, we're also on a good chat. It's nice. Yeah, I mean, we might actually spend an awful lot of time outside of snow sculpturing. Yeah, we might go up a little cycle ride with our families, and we might go sailing or something like that from time to time. But it's mainly when we come away sculpting that we get a good old chat about what's going on in life and what's going on in the piece and what's going on in everybody else's heads.
Set the world to rights.
Yeah, and that was a good one this morning. Martin had told all the other sculptors that the weather was going to be awful today, and this Canadian woman went, "Oh my God, you said the weather was going to be so awful today. I don't know what I'm going to do." Like she wasn't even going to come to the sculpture. And another girl said, Anna, she went, "Oh, it might rain up there." So psychologically, Martin already messed with their heads.
Didn't mean to. Having said that, I think they were doing the same to us. So I think we quid pro quo nicely. But then there's other things, like, for example, when we start using a lot of our senses, we talk a lot about visuals, so how things look, the lines of things.
Yeah, and both working really well. So as a team, we've nailed it this year. We've had no problems whatsoever. Last year, the Wednesday morning, it was just had a horrific day. We just couldn't seem to work together for the morning. But this year, we've really worked well together. If I needed to blast out, Martin's been clearing out. If he's needed to blast out, I've cleared out. We've been helping each other get tools to one another when one of us is stuck on a terrace. And it's just been good, mate.
Yeah, and then we use feeling as well. So when we're doing things like the sanding, etc., feeling the tools underneath us, let the tools talk to us, let the sculpture talk to us.
So this is really interesting for me, because the tools have always talked to me. They've always gone, "Oh, that's too much. Push me in there." Or, "Bing, that was a bit too close for me." And then the saw goes, "What a nice day." And the scraper, he just generally goes, "Ouch, ouch, ouch." So he gets a knobbly bit and he goes, "Oh, yeah." And and the sander and everything. So the mountain speaks to you, the wind speaks to you, the sunshine speaks to you, the temperature speaks to you. You've got a conversation going on with your sculpture. And unbelievably, you're talking about it.
Yeah. Well, we need to. It's not
No. You sensed it.
Oh, okay.
How long have you been coming? 9 years?
Yeah, it's 7 years. 7 years.
7 years, and he's finally sensed it. All good?
All good, definitely all good. But yeah, it's a good thing, because again, people realise a little bit more about what it is that we're doing up here. It's not just a case of bringing a couple of shovels and making a snowman.
No, and there's quite a few of the teams that are struggling. Some of them have brought, they used to using snow blocks, so they've got avalanche doors, which are strings with the handles on the ends, and they shot all the handles like that. And they sort
At this point in time, I think we're going to say goodbye. We're going to try and get some shots as it starts to get dark.